Hello IP5. Welcome to your first Friday lesson. So this is lesson 119, which you should be watching before the second Friday lesson. As you can see, I am in school right now. I'm not recording this video at home. So I'm hoping that you will be in school soon as well. Today, we're going to continue with Chapter 6, Pronouns, and first we're going to check the homework that I gave you on Tuesday. So please make sure that you have your workbook ready and that you have finished that workbook page before you continue with this video. Okay, so on Tuesday, we were looking at possessive pronouns, and I asked you to do workbook page 108. Section A, we need to choose the correct possessive pronoun to complete the sentence. Number 1, today our school is sponsoring a book fair. We use our because it comes before the noun school. Number 2, has yours ever had such an event? We use yours because there's no noun being referred to by the pronoun. So the possessive pronoun yours stands on its own. Number 3, actually my teacher suggested the idea. We use my before the noun teacher. And number 4, the idea of inviting famous authors was also hers. Again, hers stands alone. It doesn't have a noun after it. So give yourselves a score out of 4 for section A, please. Section B, there were 4 mistakes using possessive pronouns and we needed to find them. Dear Aunt May, last week was a special one for my school. We use my before the noun school and not mine. We had 2 famous authors talk about their works. Again, their before the noun works. Stephen Kellogg talked about his books. His is correct before the noun books. Then Peggy Parish read from novels of hers. Hers stands alone. There's no noun after it. Key to the Treasure is a good book she read to our classes. We use our before the noun classes. My job was to take authors from room to room. My is correct before the noun job. Your nephew, Kareem. So again, give yourselves a score out of 4 for section B and a total out of 8, please. Okay, this is lesson 5. Forming contractions with pronouns. Now I know that you've done contractions before, so this should be pretty easy for you. As I think you know, there's lots of contractions that we form using pronouns. So we're going to go over those today. Okay, so in case you've forgotten, a contraction is when we put 2 words together to make one shorter word. We use an apostrophe, this punctuation mark, instead of any missing letters. So when we put 2 words together, we take away some of the letters to make it shorter, and we use an apostrophe instead. There's lots of contractions that we can make using the pronouns that we've learned, and the verbs am, are, is, will, shall, would, have, has, and had. So we're going to go through those contractions today. Here's a few examples. First with a pronoun and a verb. Later, he is going to the beach. We've got the pronoun he and the verb is. But we can change that to he's, H-E''S. So we've got this apostrophe instead of the missing letter I. Later, he's going to the beach. Another one, for the last few weeks, we have learned online. I can change we have to we've. We apostrophe V-E. The apostrophe replaces H and A. So for the last few weeks, we've learned online. So first I'm going to go through the present tense forms of the linking verb be, which as you know are is, am and are. For I am, we say I'm, I apostrophe am. For he is, she is and it is, we use apostrophe s. He's, she's, its. For you are, we are and they are, we use apostrophe re. You're, we're, they're. For has, have and had, make sure you remember for have and has which ones to use with which pronoun. For have, we use apostrophe ve. I have becomes I've. For has, we use apostrophe s. He has, he's, she has, she's, it has, its. And again, you have, you've, we have, we've, they have, they've. For had, which we can use with any pronoun, it's the same rule every time, apostrophe d. So I had, I'd, he had, he'd, she had, she'd, it had, it'd, you had, you'd, we had, we'd, they had, they'd. Now, will and shall, I think you both know we can use to make sentences in the future tense. And it's actually the same contraction for both of them. So for every single pronoun, whether we use will or shall, we use apostrophe ll. So I will or I shall is I'll. He will or he shall is he'll. She will or she shall is she'll. It will or it shall is it'll. You will or you shall is you'll. We will or we shall is we'll. And they will or they shall is they'll. So that's quite easy to remember. Again, if we have the word would, we use apostrophe d. So I would is I'd, he would is he'd, she would is she'd, it would is it'd, you would is you'd, we would is we'd, and they would is they'd. Now you'll have noticed that some of the contractions we've just talked about are the same, but they're formed from different words. So for example, he will and he shall, they both are he apostrophe ll. So when you see that, you need to find clues in the sentence to make sure that you know which word is being used. So let's look at this example. He's visited Spain. Do you think we say he is visited Spain or he has visited Spain? I just want you to take a few seconds to think what we would say. He is or he has? What do you think? Do you know? Let's check. He has visited Spain. We use has before the main verb visited. Okay, let's look at page 226, questions 1 to 6. So, you've got 6 contractions, and you need to tell me what pronoun and verb make each contraction. Now, sometimes you will need to give me 2 answers. So something like he's, it will have 2 different pronouns and verbs that go together to make he's, and you need to tell me both of them. So as usual, if you don't have your textbook, do this on paper when you've paused the video. When I tell you to pause, press pause and don't press play until you have finished up to number 6. Make sure you give me 2 answers for the ones that need 2 answers. So please pause now. Have you finished up to number 6? If you're finished, you can continue watching and listen to the answers. Number 1, he's. You could say he is or he has. Again, I want both answers there. If you only got one and not the other, you can have half a point. For number 2, you'll, you could say you will or you shall. Number 3, there's only one answer, they are. Number 4, I'm, only one answer, I am. Number 5, she'd, you could have she would or she had. And number 6, you've, just one answer, you have. So give yourselves a score out of 6, please. Okay, now look at questions 7 to 18 on the next page, page 227. This is the opposite of what we've just done. You have the pronoun and the verb, and you need to write what the contraction should be. So for example, you had becomes you'd, U apostrophe D. So give me the correct contraction for all of these. You've got 12 pairs of words to make contractions for. So again, write the answers down either in the textbook or on paper, pause the video and press play when you have finished up to number 18. So please pause now. Okay, have you finished up to number 18? If you're finished, continue watching for the answers. Number 7, I shall is I'll, I apostrophe LL. Number 8, he had is he'd, he apostrophe D. Number 9, we have is we've, we apostrophe VE. Number 10, it has is its, it apostrophe S. Number 11, you have is you've, U apostrophe VE. Number 12, he will is he'll, he apostrophe LL. Number 13, they would is they'd, they apostrophe D. Number 14, we had is we'd, we apostrophe D. Number 15, he would is he'd, he apostrophe D. Number 16, we would is we'd, we apostrophe D. Number 17, they have is they've, they apostrophe VE. And number 18, you would is you'd, U apostrophe D. So give yourselves a score out of 12 for that section and a total out of 18. Okay, that's the end of the lesson. Your homework is workbook page 112. Now, as you know, today is Friday. You've got 2 lessons today. Make sure you finish that workbook page before you watch the next lesson, lesson 120. As usual, I'm just going to explain what you need to do before we finish. Okay, this is workbook page 112. In section A, it's very similar to the work that we've just done in the textbook. You have sentences with a pronoun and a verb. You need to look at the underlined pronoun and verb and write the correct contraction on this line. In section B, there is a paragraph of writing, and there are 5 mistakes with contractions. So you need to find those 5 mistakes and correct them. Okay, IP5, that's the end of this lesson, lesson 119. Please make sure you finish that homework, workbook page 112, before you watch the second lesson today. Until then, for now, thank you, IP5. Bye-bye.